Da 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 da. What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple minutes. Get those notifications out in the meantime. If you've never popped into one of my lives before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And there it is, people, right? That energy that we come in our first interactions is what we pick up and we make, just like in a job interview. When you go in for a job interview, you walk in that door and you know that person within 90 seconds has made up their mind as to whether or not you're going to have an opportunity at that job being offered, right? And it is in the same thing in this world that we live in, this busy world when we are meant to, right? Judge at an eye, make friends online when we actually, right, don't even have any true connections. Let some good cheer out to this fire truck, this paramedic, so that when they get to their where they need to go, that they'll get turned right around because it's going to be a false alarm, right? And we just send that out there. I live right behind a fire station. Okay, so let's just draw it back, right? Draw it back. And that is my multitasking quite often, getting distracted at the task at hand. When I'm with something for the norm. And so that's quite often, when I was on Instagram, that was one of the most difficult things was to keep up on the comments there on your phone while at the same time trying to do your lives and missing out on so much. And then also, you know, having those live connections with people where you don't have the opportunity to feel somebody else, right? To find that safety net here on YouTube. Wow. It's Cindy jibber jabbing away. And I hope something in that conversation hits home today. Talking a little bit about that multitasking today. I was writing a letter, made myself a cup, but I was doing this all at the same time while I was just polishing up some of those big projects that I was doing for myself. And that's the thing, sometimes we don't recognize in our busy what we're truly accomplishing and what that award or accomplishment is going to look like in the end. I've really been struggling in the past. Oh, I would have to say in about a month. I feel these pressures to make choices and to make movement in those choices, right? Just like, it's like your mom pushing you out the door for your first day of school and you're holding on to the frame of the door. Not that it happened to me, but right, you kind of get the feeling of that, right? And I try and I try to move. I really do, and I really want to take note when I fail in making that little bit of movement for myself, and I don't recognize that movement quite often, and I lost track of what I was saying there because I was thinking, what was the analogy of the little kid being pushed out the door, right? Not wanting to go to school that first day. And I just totally lost it there. And again, sometimes it's in that focusing of too many things, right? And when you're focusing on too many things, that's when you have to stay on that main track. That's not when you're supposed to be going off and exploring the side branches, right? Some of my own lessons that I'm not taking. Okay, so we're going to draw it back to the main branch. I know this conversation today is in that companionship, right? But again, we're back in that idea this week, and I'm sure we're going to get this word companionship again because I seem I've been focusing quite a bit on that companionship with myself. That part of me who's been along for the journey for as long as I know because I haven't felt that big sense of, right, takeover or change or, right, there have been changes but so gradual in a comfortable state that I'm actually able to be present in it for the most part. Cindy does stray off those side branches quite often. But what I wanted to say today is, been really set on trying to set some goals and putting that pressure on myself. And when I'm supposed to be treating myself well, I find that I'm not treating myself well because of those expectations that I should know where I'm going, know where I'm heading, and what those big goals are. And I think what it is I'm right like that multitasking. I'm taking on too much. And what that is for me is I'm looking too far at the future. I'm looking too far at what I see at the end of that. I'm not taking note on those little things. And came to me and I went, oh my goodness, right? And it only came to me because I looked at my apartment and I saw how much I accomplished in the past few days in organization and getting donation bags ready and getting things cleaned and things that I didn't think that I was, right? It hadn't even crossed my mind. But in the moment I got into it, sometimes you got to make a mess to clean a mess. And there's a lesson in that too, 100%. But in cleaning that mess, came across a big lesson for myself. And September is the end of my fiscal year, right? Or the beginning of my new fiscal year. And it happens right after my September trip. I go on vacation every September, try to take as much of September off as I possibly can. And I create a magnificent experience for myself because I am, right? Reaching towards goals. And there's a lot of work in that. There's a lot of sacrificing in those things that I would like to be doing, but knowing that there's that big prize at the end, it helps me to apply myself, right? It helps me to apply myself. And I came across today the answer, right? In all that pressure that I've been putting myself under for the past couple of months anyway, it's past couple of months for sure. And what it was my list of goals. This is so silly. My list of goals that I made for myself, right? For my new fiscal year. And I've been running on that the entire time and yet beating myself up because the list wasn't in my sight. It wasn't sitting right here. I was just running off the fumes of what I remembered, right? Not even consciously, because this week, I'm getting my passport renewed. It was on my list of goals to get done this year, along with that goal that I already accomplished in the past couple of months of getting my glasses. Like, I could check that off the list. I got my wireless microphone, right, for my birthday. I'm actually already working on my September vacation. Well, I'm working on my vacation for September. It's not even that because I'm not sure if I'm going to go on this vacation in September. It's really, really hot in this month and where I want to go. I want to go to Utah and Arizona, but I don't want to wait a whole year. Now, right now is the most perfect time to be there. It's fall there. I follow people who are making content. I'm just keeping an eye on the clock. I follow people who are making content, and it's just beautiful there right now. Just do anything, right? But to work on a vacation that's that far ahead from now, am I overstretching myself, or do I use working on this vacation as a little bit of a filler, a little bit of something else to work on because something else that I'm working on in the moment is just too heavy and I need something a little bit lighter, a little bit fun, but still in that movement for myself, right? There were a couple of other things on this list that I haven't accomplished yet I'm working on them. Like I'm working on my goals, but I've cut it up in little baby steps. And I was just writing a kind, oh, it's kind, right? Writing to a kind person is what I'm doing, and I'm trying to be reciprocal because he's so well deserving, and I have no idea why I've been graced with such a soul on my team, but he truly is on my team, and he likes sailboats and ships and stuff. And I found some amazing postcards, so I packed them up in this little box here, along with some pens because I'm writing. But we live in a digital age. We do everything online. But because he's so kind, I want to reciprocate in kind, right? I'm going to write. And I noticed I was starting to do really fast because I was watching at the clock and I'm going, oh, I want to get my live in, right? I got to catch a bus to get to work. And in that multitasking, I wasn't giving my full focus. My soul was coming out. I was spewing it. But he's a calligraphist, that makes the fancy writing. He likes to write like that. He's such a beautiful writer. And hello, Nancy. That must be Nancy. Pop in, say hi. For those of you who pop in later, I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going into my weekend now. When it comes to my job, all my energy, I ground in my job and I shine in my job and I shine in that opportunity to expand a little bit more in that shining, right? And I grind. I grind, for sure I do, but I ground in that. And it helps to take me away from the heaviness of the lessons that could easily have me floating away like a bouquet of balloons, 100%. I'm just writing an Andrew a letter and I'm sending him some postcards and some of his fancy pens that he likes. I'm sending him my favorite pen because he deserves it. And he writes more than I do. And I have lots of pens. I'm not fussy about my pens. Well, maybe I'm fussy about how it writes, the ink on it, right? Which is why I'm looking at my card and going, okay, you could do better than that, Cindy. And you're going to come home tonight and you're going to have that time because it's all done now. It looks so great. All I got to do is clean out this file cabinet here. It's going to be my new sock drawer. I needed a sock drawer. And I moved a unit over here and I was making space for my new dining table that's coming this weekend. Haven't made that space yet, but I've made my space for my socks. But it's movement forward, right? It's in those baby steps and the things we accomplish, right? And those things that we accomplish that make us smile, make us feel good about ourselves. And yet we beat ourselves up because we're not making choices. We're not setting those big goals. Well, if we can't take care of our basic needs, how can we assume that we can take care of some of those great, big needs? And if you think about it, maybe these little needs make that big chore that needs to get done not such a big chore, right? Because all these little things are practice, right? In support of that big thing that I've got to do. Okay, you guys. Aww. I'm sorry to hear that, Nancy. I'm sorry to hear that. You can't even donate it, eh? I'm sorry to hear that. Try and hold on to it if you can. If there's any way that you can hold on to it. But if it's causing problems, right, and you don't have a choice, and you don't have to do the choice. Me and you, right? We make those hard decisions, right? That's only a decision that you can make for Nancy. And my heart goes out to you, right? Right? But you have a lot of friends who send you babies. I bet you have a lot of friends who send you little mini cars. I do believe I sent you a little mini car, right? When I come across them again, I'll send you some more, right? Don't give up so easy. You're not a giver upper, Nancy. Be a little bit tough on yourself, right? Discipline, right? Discipline. You know that. You know that nothing gets done unless you take care of business, Nancy, right? But that has to be your decision. Well, maybe I could send you. You want some more clothes, Nancy? Could send you some more clothes. Your parcel wasn't expensive to ship. I would be happy to pick out some cute outfits if you liked my taste in outfits last time. Just let me know what age so I don't get them too small or too big. 18 weeks or more. Oh my goodness. You saved 18 babies? Oh no, you didn't save 18 babies. 20. Wow, really good, Nancy. Don't even peek in those bags. Well, I guess you said you had to every once in a while, right? Okay, I can't stick around today. We didn't touch on companionship, but I guess this whole week, that companionship to myself, treating myself better, making myself feel good by doing those things that make me feel good, and what makes me feel good is accomplishing things. It does. It does. I can't help it. It's just the way it is. But I thought, how amazing was that? Because I alleviated a lot of guilt and shame and little beating myself up. Like, I should know what my goals are. I'm thinking, like, what's my goal? Get moving, Cindy, get moving. But I was moving all along, right? But I was doing it in the baby steps of this list that I had here. Going to make this list. I'm going to put in a little frame or something so it's at my desk so that I don't forget, right? Because it's not a good feeling when you're feeling like you're not making any movement at all. So a little bit of kindness to yourself, right? That was in the multitasking, doing too many different things at the same time that I couldn't focus on the one thing, right? And I didn't even know what that one thing was. But if I had had my list, I would have known I was on that one thing already. It's crazy. I know. Okay, you guys, that's my good chair. We'll see each other Monday. If you want to pop into my live show, Chatters live on Sunday night at Show and Tell week. I bring my staff charges home. I work in a little thrift store. You get to have a little bit of taste of my taste, and maybe get to see something that you might think is pretty cool. But most of all, it is in the conversation. And if you hang out with us, right, maybe Nancy will pop in and talk your head off. Okay, you guys, have a great day. 3 to 6 months. I'll keep that in mind. Have a great day. See you Monday. Bye bye.